Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you. So guys, we all know that there's this BS narrative that all these chicks are strong and independent and boss babes and happier than the bug in the rug, right?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
But we all know it's cap, right? Because usually they'll make a post about how happy they are, and then about 10 minutes later, another post pops up.
And I'm just trying to tell you that I have mental health issues. I'm extremely distraught. I feel like my whole life is ending.
And guys, all more 304s now are abusing alcohol and hard drugs, weed, you know what I'm saying? Or they're on antidepressants, right? And a whole bunch of them are in therapy. The only thing worse than chicks that are in therapy are the therapists themselves. And that's what we're going to start a new series. We're going to look at therapy, modern women and therapy. So we're going to go to the dumpster fire known as TikTok, guys. But before we do, like, subscribe, drop a comment, because it really helps keep this channel going, guys. Check out my second channel and my locals in the description, guys. The playlist at the end. If you're on Crumble, guys, head over to my YouTube, and let's get into this. Now, guys, we're going to talk about therapists and the chicks that are in therapy, because we all know that the girls that are in therapy love to psychoanalyze everyone and act like they're therapists themselves. Let's go.
I just got done with therapy, and I'm also a grad student studying to become a therapist.
Oh no.
And my therapist just shared something with me that I just really feel like I need to share. We were talking about being vulnerable and crying and how it can be very hard to, be with someone and cry in front of them. It's also very hard to just show others that we're in pain or that we're sad. And he expressed to me that when you cry, when you show, allow the liquid to come out of your eyes and there's someone witnessing it, it's actually a small part in your healing.
Now, guys, she said that she has a male therapist, so I guess that's a good thing, guys. If you ever feel like you need to talk to anyone, get a male therapist. But what kind of sick chick says that she can't even cry in front of people? Do you guys honestly believe that she can't cry in front of people? If you believe that any woman can't just turn on the tears,
You've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
clown world.
And that if we don't let the liquid leave our bodies, it ends up going into our bodies and turning into a rock that will then eventually build a wall. And when I tell you, that was just mind-blowing to me. And I know that is something that I will carry with me through the rest of my life, and especially as someone who is studying to become a therapist. Because it is so important to find spaces where we can share our vulnerability and also create spaces for people to do the same. And to also normalize crying, especially with men. I think it can be very hard and it's almost shown as a weakness.
There it is, guys. There it is. So there it is, guys. We all know that it was going to come back to us. Men need to cry and be more sensitive.
Beta!
Guys, can you imagine? This chick, she's training to be a therapist, right? And she's obviously so messed up that she needs quote-unquote therapy, guys. If you come across a chick like this,
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
But I also think it's just such a great thing to kind of keep in mind of when we don't release that, what is it doing inside of our bodies? I just got done with...
Now guys, look at this. The first comment here says, cleansing cries are so important. Crying in front of people absolutely kills me. I hate doing it. Come on. These are women saying this.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
The next woman says, I want to cry, but I physically can't. Please. Guys, we chicks have known since they were young that they can weaponize crying. This is proof that all this therapy is foolishness. It's absolute clown shoes. The next person says, thanks, I cry at least 10 times a week. Guys, run. If a chick says this, she's in therapy or any of this, run, guys. And guys, there are hashtags. You ready? Hashtag therapy. Hashtag vulnerability. Hashtag crying. Hashtag healing journey. Of course. Hashtag therapy sessions. Hashtag therapy talk. Hashtag emotionally unavailable. Clown world. Now, guys, I gotta translate first. I know you guys might not be able to understand what she's saying. Let me just.
Code, yeah, minus code.
Oh man, but it says a month's worth of therapy in 60 seconds from a licensed therapist, guys. Look at this. Why is this chick so sweaty? Here we go.
Okay, so here is a month's worth of therapy in 60 seconds. If you are constantly chasing after emotionally unavailable partners, consider that maybe deep down, you don't actually want to date anybody. Maybe you're seeking a sense of connection without the vulnerability of a real relationship. Find yourself constantly stuck in a cycle of wanting to be better.
These nails, guys. Look at that. Look at these rings in her nose. And she's making these faces like she's saying something smart. Come on, guys.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Or if you are overly focused on self-improvement, there's a chance that you might be looking outside of yourself for worthiness and for connection.
I said what I said. Okay.
Don't believe everything you think. Our thoughts are shaped by various factors and can often lead us astray from the truth.
Okay. Oh, wow. Ooh, guys, she told us. Whoa, wow, we've been edified. Guys, this shit gets paid to do this. She gets paid to do this. There's other 304s coming to her. They're like, oh, Slay Queen, thanks for the advice. Please. And then she's going to be on here trying to act all smart when she didn't say a damn thing.
Just like a woman.
And guys, I'm not going to even... well, I'll read one comment here because they're all a bunch of 304s, but one comment says, only took 1.5 years worth of therapy to come to the realization that I am the emotionally unavailable partner. Look at that. Guys, these chicks are cooked, man. They're cooked. And guys, her hashtags. You ready? Hashtag mental health. Hashtag healing TikTok. Hashtag black therapist. Hashtag black female therapist. Hashtag healing journey. Hashtag therapy TikTok. Hashtag your therapy big sister. Hashtag healing reminders. Hashtag therapy talk, guys. Man, oh man, oh man. These chicks are doomed, guys. And guys, only a fool would choose to deal with these people, right? To actually go into any type of relationship with knuckleheads like this clown world.
If you went through a breakup a while ago and you can't stop going through in your mind what happened and trying to make sense of things, then I want to share with you something that my therapist said to me about 6 months after my breakup, which really, really helped me. So someone messaged me yesterday saying, it has been 8 months since my breakup and I cannot stop going over and over again in my mind what happened and the sequence of events that led up to it, and it is exhausting. And I remember feeling exactly like that, and so I just wanted to share what my therapist advised me to do at the time. And I just want to make clear, she wasn't discouraging me from verbalizing it, because I think that is really, really important. Like, when you're going through something, it is important that you have people around you that you can verbalize.
Why do chicks talk so goddamn much? Guys, she has talked for 43 seconds and hasn't said anything. She hasn't made any points. She hasn't... Why do females have to be so exhausting all the time?
Things too, as and when you need it. But I found that the thing I found more difficult to deal with was what was going on in my head about what had happened and the thought processes I was having. Because what will happen over time, if you rehearse the same story in your head and you go over the details over and over again, is that you basically get into this state of thinking where all it takes is for you to have one thought. And then once you have that one thought, it then leads to like 100 other thoughts about that thing.
Guys, let's just pump the brakes here. She's not talking about having gone to war. She's not talking about, like, you know, problems with giving birth or whatever. This is a breakup. And she's acting like she's having some PTSD or something. Clown world. Women nowadays are nothing like the women of old. They used to have kids get deleted from polio, husbands getting blown up in a war. You know what I'm saying? Famine, disease. And this chick's talking about this. Oh, this trauma, and I had one thought in my head and it made me think about this. Please, come on, man.
And you spiral, basically, and that was essentially what happened to me. So her advice was to me, she said, every single time you feel like that, or every single time this thought process starts, you have to, she said, visualize yourself in a courtroom, in the witness stand, giving evidence, because ultimately that is what we're doing when we're trying to make stuff make sense. We're trying to find evidence for our beliefs. She said, you're giving evidence, but the judge and the jury have gone home. And she basically said that every single time you visualize that, what it will do is it will interrupt that thought process loop that's going to start in your brain. And I did that, and over time it just stopped me from thinking the way I was thinking, and it stopped those loops from happening. And I just want to add,
listen to this chick. Look how neurotic this chick sounds. And these chicks want to be the leaders of society. Please.
To that she wasn't saying it in a kind of brutal way of stop talking about it because no one cares. It was more in a gentle way of, like, by going over and over and over something in your head, you are giving yourself such a hard time. And it was just this kind of like letting me know that I didn't need all the answers to be okay. I didn't need the full closure to be okay. And going over and over it in my head wasn't actually serving me in the way that I thought it was. And I just wanted to add that on because it sounds a little bit harsh, that you might think she meant it in a kind of way of like, stop talking about it, there's no one there, no one's listening. It was more of a, not actually serving you anymore, so you don't need to keep going over it in your head. And it was just a way of interrupting those thought processes.
Sorry, I had to subject you guys to that. Listen to all of that, guys. Listen to all of that. Can you imagine being in a relationship with this chick? Right? It'll be like this, but like 2 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to sleep. You're just getting off the toilet from taking a dump. The Super Bowl is on. And this is just a breakup. What are you talking about? If this was a guy, he'd be like, sorry, son, but you need to get over it. Grow some bollocks. Hey guys, are hashtags. Hashtag breakup. Hashtag healing journey. Hashtag therapy, guys. Guys, don't deal with chicks that are in therapy, and do not date therapists, guys. I'm going to make a video on that too, guys. Do not do it. Stay away. I believe in you guys. All right, you guys, it's AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one.